there's a lot of people with a lot of anxiety right now. How do we get through that?
Yeah, I think it goes back to what you were just talking about, because you were talking about authenticity. And if I'm going to hold on to myself, then I realize I can only control myself. And then I have to realize that my work is to regulate myself.
Mm-hmm.
Even if someone around me is in the state of not being okay,
Mm-hmm.
then I say, I get to say, I'm just as worthy. My needs, my feelings, my experience,
Mm-hmm.
my way of seeing the world is just as valid as anyone else's.
Mm-hmm.
No one is superior in the way that they're thinking. And even though they may be louder, even though they may be more anxious, even though they may be imploding or crazy seeming, right? My experience is just as valid. And so I get to say my soul is just as worthy here and say, and it doesn't mean I have to get loud. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that's the work of everything in life.
That is.
Politics is just an example, but it's like when our kids do that, or when our spouse does that, or when our anyone does that, and we have to say to ourselves, you know, oh wow, they're just trying to stamp me out
Mm-hmm.
because they're so anxious.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean what I'm saying or how I feel or my experience isn't true. It just means that they don't know how to manage their own anxiety
Mm-hmm.
in that moment. And so they're dysregulated. If I'm not the one yelling, screaming, or doing of it, what you're realizing is I'm just looking at a lot of dysregulated people. And what I'm saying is, okay, can I stay regulated as I'm around this dysregulation? And sometimes it's very hard. But really, it's just saying, I'm as worthy as anybody else and I'm as valid as anybody else. And then I can authentically show up, even if that means that they have negative reaction towards me and they want to stamp me out. And that does take a lot of
Yeah.
strength and courage. And I think that is almost about civil liberties, isn't it? It's
Mm-hmm.
fighting for me saying I get to have a seat at the table as much as anybody else in politics or in relationship.